Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to see how we can install Linux in a machine that is already running Windows. So first of all, I'm going to the balena.io website to download a software called Balena Etcher. This software you can download in same way in your Windows machine if you have, or if you have another Linux machine, you can download it there also. So Balena Etcher will be available for all versions. Now open the software. This software is not particularly for Linux. It can be used for a variety of other applications like Raspberry Pi and other operating systems. You can even install Windows using this software. So this software is used to create a bootable disk. Bootable disk like CD, or you can create a bootable pen drive. Since CDs are not used anymore, we're going to create a pen drive. So now I'm downloading the Ubuntu ISO from the website. So I've already downloaded, so I'll stop it. It's still in my downloads folder. This is just very standard process, even if you are using other operating system like I'm doing on Mac, you can do the same on Windows also. So in the first option of Balanature, I have selected the Ubuntu ISO. The second, I will select the target where I will create the bootable disk, which is this Mouserware mouse. You can expand it if you are not seeing the option initially. You can expand and find. Then I'll start flashing. This is asking for my password, laptop password. It might not ask, it generally doesn't ask in Windows, but in Mac it asks. So you can ignore this step if it is not asking. Ignore the part, this is just advertisement, right part. Left part you can see the progress of flashing. It will take some time based on the hard disk type. Like if you have SSD, it will be quicker. If you don't have SSD, it will be little slower. So let us wait till it completes. Still running. Let me fast forward it so that you don't need to wait. So now it is validating, which will still take some time. Now flash has been completed. I'm going to remove the card USB, and this is another laptop which is running Windows currently, as you can see. I'm going to shut it down. I'll insert this same USB that was etched using Balena etcher and put it in the USB slot of the laptop. Then do not turn it on normally. It might be different for different brand of laptops, but for my it is, you have to insert a pin in a small hole and it will start in the boot mode. I'm not sure what it is exactly called, but you will recognize the screen once you see it. Sorry, it is called BIOS. So you will see options like this. Now from the option you have to select boot order, boot options. So in the boot options we'll select the same USB that is installed, that was etched, and press enter. So now it will continue to boot and it will see that it is a Linux or Ubuntu USB. So it will ask, do you want to try and install Ubuntu? We're going to click on enter and it will start. So Ubuntu is loading in try mode. Please note that it is not yet installed in the laptop. It is running directly from the USB. So now as you can see, it has loaded, at least not installed yet, loaded. Now it gives you two options: try Ubuntu and install Ubuntu. You can first try Ubuntu or any other Linux distribution you're installing, but I'm going to directly install. Please note that the installation steps are not very simple, so please note. So this part is simple step. You just need to choose Wi-Fi, or if you don't want, you can continue. Then you will be asked about what kind of installation. You can do normal also. I'm doing minimal to avoid unnecessary time use. You can do normal also. Okay, now this part, it's a little shaky. I'm also not able to see. Okay, so what I was doing in this part is, okay, so this part is the installation where you select normal or minimal. You can select minimal. So the thing is, this part will not have very high impact on the installation, but I'll tell you when you need to note few things. Okay, now this part you have to be really careful. Do not install directly. Do not select the first two options. It will replace your Windows and install. So that can be dangerous. Select something else. Now in while installing, your F drive, G drive, etc. name will not be there. So you will not know which drive is which. You have to know by using the size. Otherwise there is no way to know. So I remember my extra disk size was 560001 MB, which is 56 GB. Now what you have to do is click on change, then reduce it by 2 MB, then select, you reduce by 2 MB, I'll tell you why little later. So you have to select ext4 journaling file system and select the mount point as / single /. That's it. It will take some time. It will ask you to continue. You can continue. It will take some time to load. The extra 2 MB, I'll tell you what it is required for. Okay, now the processing is completed and you will see that 2 MB extra free space is created, and in this what you have to do is select it as reserved BIOS boot area. This is necessary for the boot. Other options are okay, and you can see the before 2 MB the reduced size is there, 55999. It was earlier 56001. Okay, now reserved BIOS is also completed. As you can see, it is mentioned as BIOS grub. We're going to select the first bigger partition, ext4 type partition. Click on it. It will take some time, and then now if you scroll down, you can see it is selected. Now you can go ahead and click on install. It will show you the options which will be considered. The first is the bigger drive, that ext4, and second is the BIOS grub that we created. So even though we have not selected that 2 MB, it has considered that 2 MB because it was the BIOS grub. So we set the time zone, then give some username and password. Then you can select login automatically or require login, any option. So from now on, you cannot damage your computer from whatever option you select. It will just change the amount of software installed or not installed. Now this will take some time. So now we have come to the end of the installation. After the installation is complete, you will see message like this: installation completed. Can select restart now. Once you click on that, it will start restarting. Then it will ask you to remove the USB that was used in installation and press enter. I'm going to do that. USB is removed and I press enter. Now it will continue to restart, but there will be one issue in my laptop. The issue might not happen in yours. So if you have this issue, you need to know. So what you're seeing is that it is after restart, instead of loading into Linux, it is going to Windows. So we're going to shut the computer back down because it is not Linux, and start it in the same way, safe mode or BIOS mode. You don't need to go into BIOS every time before starting, but this one time you have to then make the setting. After that it will continuously load into Linux only. So basically computers have two type of boot. First is legacy. Legacy means old, and newer one is UEFI. So since Linux always installs into legacy mode, you have to boot into BIOS, then change the boot type from UEFI to legacy first. I'm doing the same thing I did at the start. And one more thing, if both Windows and Linux is installed into UEFI, or both are installed into legacy, you will you will be able to see both the options while starting the laptop. You can choose Linux or Windows. But since in my case it is, see, I'll change it to legacy first. So it will first boot into Linux. First means it will only boot into Linux. Now if I want to go into Windows, I have to change it back to UEFI in this same page. Then F10 is for save and exit. This is probably same for all laptops, but if it is different, just check. I did that. Now it is loading into Linux and it is asking what to load into. It will say Ubuntu in the first option. You have to select Ubuntu only every time. Then it will do its thing. So one thing I need to tell you is that in the same partition I've already installed another Linux just for trying before the video. So it is causing some issue because the previous one's files are also there. But this issue will probably not happen with you, but for me it was fixed after I just restarted once more. Yeah, I'm talking about this issue. It is saying something like device name not found. After the issue I restarted once more, and then it was fixed. So now after restarting, we are booted back into Linux. Just I had to do one restart, nothing special, just one simple restart, and the issue was not there anymore. Now you can see this is booted into Ubuntu. You can open the file explorer. This is the app menu, app drawer. I'm opening a text editor. This is something live patch software for automatic upgrade, I guess. Now the stability of Ubuntu will be different from machine to machine. Some machines are very adapted to Ubuntu and it will work perfectly, some will not. So you have to check. And you can also, since it is Linux, you can also install drivers to fix things as required.